Have you ever wondered what it would sound like if your guitar was being played at the bottom of a swimming pool by a very enthusiastic, slightly wobbly robot? No? Just me? Well, today we're diving headfirst into that very specific, very brilliant sonic world. We're talking about flanging, that glorious, swooshing jet plane taking off in your ear sound that has graced countless records. It's the sound of psychedelic dreams, 80s power ballads, and futuristic soundscapes all rolled into one. It's a bit like putting a weird, wobbly coat on your sound, and frankly, who doesn't love a weird, wobbly coat? It's the audio equivalent of seeing a man in a pineapple suit confidently walking down the high street. You don't know why it's happening, but you're glad it is. So, what exactly is a flanger plugin? At its core, it's a wonderfully simple yet genius bit of digital audio trickery. Imagine you have two identical audio tracks in your DAW, playing back at the same time. Now, imagine you nudge one track ever so slightly out of sync, creating a tiny delay between them with just a click or drag. This subtle shift produces a phase difference, and that's where the magic begins. The two signals go out of phase and back in again, producing that iconic sweeping comb filtering effect we all love. It's the sound of science having a bit of a party, only now it's all happening inside your computer. And for those of us who never owned a tape machine, we have plugins like the Eventide Flanger to bring that classic sound into the digital age. The legendary Eventide Flanger. It's a modern classic that promises to bottle that vintage magic. No hardware required. But does it? The reason we should all care about flanging is because it's one of those effects that can completely transform a sound from something mundane into something extraordinary. It's not just for psychedelic guitar solos, though it does those brilliantly, of course. It can add a subtle, liquid-like movement to a clean electric piano, give a synth pad an otherworldly texture, or even make a drum loop sound like it's breathing. It's an effect that's both instantly recognizable and surprisingly versatile. It's the Swiss Army knife of modulation. If the Swiss Army knife also included a tool for making everything sound like it's traveling through a wormhole. What's the most unusual instrument you've ever heard a flanger on? Let me know. I'm genuinely curious. Today we're going to put the Eventide Flanger, a pedal with a reputation as big as a house, through its paces. Alright, let's get the Eventide Flanger plugin onto the computer. No dramatic unboxing here, just a quick download, a double click on the installer, and we're off. But there is a certain ceremony to opening a new plugin, isn't there? It's like digital Christmas for your DAW. The Eventide Flanger plugin loads up quickly, with a clean, no-nonsense interface, which I appreciate. No unnecessary clutter, just the promise of quality digital effects inside. As soon as it opens, you're greeted by a stylish set of controls, ready to shape your sound. It feels substantial, even if it's all pixels and code. This isn't some flimsy freeware. It feels like a serious piece of audio engineering. The interface is modern, intuitive, and ready for some serious sonic experiments. You could probably use it to fend off a bad mix if you had to, though I wouldn't recommend it. Some mixes are particularly tough. The first thing that strikes you is how quickly you can get creative. The controls are responsive, and the sound quality screams premium. The interface is finished in that classic sleek Eventide style, and it just looks professional. It looks like it means business. Alright, the digital moment of truth. I've got my virtual guitar track ready, DAW loaded, and the Eventide Flanger plugin inserted on the channel. The Eventide Flanger VST interface pops up, all parameters at their default settings. A little virtual LED blinks on the plugin, waiting for input. I set all the knobs to 12 o'clock, a classic neutral starting point for any plugin exploration. I hit play on the DAW and let the first chord ring out through the plugin. Instantly, the sound is transformed. Wow. Okay, just wow. The very first chord I play is completely reimagined by the plugin. It's not an aggressive, in-your-face effect at these settings. It's a rich, deep, three-dimensional swirl. It adds a sense of movement and space that is immediately captivating. It's like my guitar sound has been dipped in liquid glass. It's lush, it's warm, and it's incredibly musical. I spend the next few minutes just playing simple chords and arpeggios, marveling at how the effect interacts with every note. Alright, let's dive into the Eventide VST Flanger plugin and see what all these digital controls can do. At first glance, the plugin window might look a bit overwhelming compared to a simple 3-knob effect, but don't worry. Everything is organized so intuitively that you'll be tweaking parameters with confidence in no time. The main controls you'll see are speed, depth, and feedback, all easily accessible in the plugin interface. Speed adjusts how quickly the modulation sweeps, just by dragging a slider or turning a virtual knob. You can set it to a slow, evolving sweep, or ramp it up for a fast, warbling effect, all with a simple mouse movement. Depth controls how dramatic the flanging effect is, from subtle shimmer to full-on jet swoosh. Feedback lets you dial in resonance, making the sound more metallic and intense as you increase the value. Push it high enough, and the plugin can even self-oscillate, creating wild experimental tones. But the Eventide VST Flanger plugin goes further, offering advanced features you won't find on most hardware. There's a manual control, which lets you freeze the sweep at any point for precise static cone filtering. You can automate any parameter in your DAW, so the effect evolves perfectly with your track. And of course, you can save and recall presets, making it easy to experiment and return to your favorite sounds. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the world of digital flanging, do me a favor and hit that like button, and maybe even subscribe to the channel for more plugin explorations. It really helps, and it means you won't miss out when we test even more wild effects in the digital realm. Let's explore the creative world of the Eventide VST Flanger plugin right inside your digital audio workstation. The range of sounds you can achieve is truly staggering, from subtle movement to wild, swirling effects. Start with gentle settings for a soft, chorus-like shimmer that adds depth to guitars, synths, or vocals. With a few tweaks, you can dial in that classic jet plane whoosh, perfect for dramatic transitions or psychedelic textures. The plugin's automation options let you sweep parameters in real time, creating evolving, animated soundscapes. Push the feedback and manual controls, and you can conjure robotic resonances, metallic sweeps, and even self-oscillating drones. The Eventide VST Flanger becomes an instrument in its own right, inspiring new ideas and creative directions with every session. So after all that swooshing, wobbling, and digital wizardry, we come to the big question: should you add the Eventide VST Flanger to your plugin collection? It's not the cheapest plugin out there, let's be upfront about that. But with Eventide, you're paying for decades of audio innovation and a sound that stands out in any mix. If you just want a basic jet flange for that one cover track, there are simpler options. But if you see flanging as a creative tool for sculpting sound, this plugin is a powerhouse. For the creative producer, it's an absolute triumph. The range of sounds, from subtle, shimmering movement to wild, experimental textures, is simply phenomenal. Its versatility means it can find a home in any genre, from classic rock to futuristic electronica. It's a modern classic for a reason, honoring its heritage while pushing the boundaries of what a flanger can do in the digital age. It's a true instrument for your DAW. For me, it has completely redefined what I thought a flanger plugin could do. It's not just an effect for solos, it's a creative partner for songwriting, sound design, and mixing. It's as useful on a synth or drum machine as it is on a guitar track. That versatility, combined with its sound quality, makes the price tag much more understandable. You're not just buying a flanger, you're getting a comprehensive modulation and sound design tool in a sleek digital package. It's a desert island plugin, if your desert island has Wi-Fi and a laptop. So my final verdict: if you're serious about sound and love creative modulation, you owe it to yourself to try this plugin. It's inspiring, expressive, and endlessly fascinating, a masterpiece of digital audio engineering. That's all from me today. I hope you found this useful and maybe a little bit entertaining. If you did, don't forget to give this a like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of creative plugins. Let me know your thoughts on the Eventide Flanger, or your favorite plugins in general, down in the comments. Right, I'm off to see if I can make a cup of tea sound like a 747. Cheers.